Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys this overage list and kind of just give you a glimpse into my world. I'm actually preparing for the next cohort, which is October 19th. And sometimes, if you have been a part of my cohort, you know the list doesn't look like this. But I go through several different lists when I'm looking for my cohort because I want to make it easy for the students. And so I just decided to share this list only because it's a very, very interesting. One of the things I think that is very important that you should know when you're working in different counties is understanding the different codes. Like it says option U and it has NN. Now, I did call the county and asked what option U meant, and they were like, it's unredeemed. I am noticing that a few of these counties are now starting to let you know if the properties are the overage list are redeemed or not. For example, on this list, they actually have when they have been redeemed, which I really like. Um, so I do like the fact that some counties will let me know if they have been redeemed or not, which is a good thing. But for right now, I was going through this list and I just kind of wanted to shed some light to you so that for those that have taken my course or are interested in taking my course, or if you're just trying to learn on your own, one of the things that's very important is deciphering a list and making it easy and not as complicated. As you guys can see, there's a whole bunch of numbers here. You have overage deed and you have all these numbers. One of the things that this list does provide, it does provide a name. However, you don't know what the APN number is. You don't know what the address is. So this list can be challenging for someone that's just starting out. And so I'm just kind of like going through the list. And one of the things I do for my cohort is I try to see if any of the overages are even worth pursuing. So for example, this one, like I said, it does tell you the owner's name, but 9 times out of 10, when you're collecting for overages, they do want to know the APN number and they either want a land description or a property address, which this list does not provide. Another thing I noticed about this list is that the dates are very wide, meaning that if you notice right here, it says transactions from 10/23/17 with transactions 11/16/15 through 4/30/20, which is also a red flag for me because I try to be as current as possible or at least have a list not too far from when they actually printed this list. So these dates do concern me, but I thought I would share this because this is the first time I actually seen a list. I don't want to say the first time, but a list that really isn't clear. You know, it has a lot of different numbers on here. And I just wanted to share this with you. If you're new and you're starting out and you're trying to figure things out, this is probably one of the most complicated lists. But I thought I would just share with you, you know, how you can uncomplicate things. So, for example, you would want to start a space where it actually has the owner's name. This is actually the receipt number of the claimant. I'm going to assume this is the APN number, but I did not call the county to verify that. And basically, right here where it says 633.26, that's the total liability. And then this shows the bid amount, and then it also shows what the overage deed. Now, this particular county shows that nothing has been redeemed yet, which is a good thing. However, this list is kind of dated. As you guys can see, it says through April 30th, 20. Um, so this may not be a good list. However, this is a county that the redemption period is 5 years. So I decided that I was going to test a county that you can have a longer redemption period. However, I don't really want to go back a whole year because I feel like, you know, a lot of people may have went through this, but also too, people always ask me, how do I determine a list? And a lot of times people ask me, why do I take so long to have different cohorts? And this is the reason why, because I do a lot of scrubbing in my list where I'll look not only at the date, But I'm also looking for the overage amounts. Like, as you guys can see, even though this is like 55 pages long, I kind of scrolled through here and you can see the overage amounts are relatively low. So I just wanted to share with you guys this list I more than likely will not use. Um, because of the overage amount, but this was a nice one. It's 11,000, but normally I have more than at least, 4 or 5 students in a class. So I try to be fair in regards to having at least, 10, at least a minimum of 10,000 on up for you to find claimants. I also would like to add that not everyone is able to locate their claimants. So that's why I give out more than 4 or 5 leads in one list. So this is like a list that I didn't feel like there were a lot of good overages, but for those that are like wanting to just start out, this is probably maybe a good list for you. But what I wanted you to get from this video is how to uncomplicate a list. So, for example, like I said, this is one of the most complicated ones because it doesn't have everything really clear and it's kind of like scattered. And what I would suggest is you taking an Excel spreadsheet and creating columns, like, for example, having um, well, this says owner buyer. So I would even have to verify if this is actually the owners of the property or if this is the actual buyer of the property. This is another red flag of why I probably wouldn't use this list because it's really not clear. A lot of newbies will make that mistake of thinking that just because the name's right here doesn't necessarily mean that that is the previous owner. It could be the new buyer. So just because this isn't clear, 9 times out of 10, I probably wouldn't use this list only because it would take me more time to dig deep into it and everything's not clear. And I also want to get back to what I was saying is in order to uncomplicate a list, you want to do an Excel spreadsheet, which would have the previous owner's name, at least an APN number, an address. And of course, you always want to have the minimum bid and then what the bid amount is, and then the overage. And that is like pretty much the standard of what you want in a list. You also definitely want to have something that's related to the property, which I'm assuming that this right here is the APN number, but once again, it's really not clear. And so you need one or two things. You need either the APN number or you need the address because a lot of times when you're filing claims, they're going to ask for one or the other. And sometimes they ask for both. So that's something that you would definitely need to know. And then I also would like to add, for the sake of this video, people always ask me, what's a good county or how do I know what county to work? Well, this is a perfect example of a county that I probably would not work. Well, I definitely would not work this. One, I would not work this county because the overage amounts are relatively small. As you guys can see, 800, 1200, 1500. Number two, this list isn't clear whether this is the previous owner or the buyer. It also isn't clear, or rather, this is the APN number or the address. However, like I said, if you're a newbie, this might be an ideal county to work because it does tell you if it's redeemed or not, which is really good. Not a lot of counties offer that. But this list to me, it's very evasive. So I wouldn't use this. And it's also can be a little bit more complicated than usual. For example, like this list, it's pretty much, it gives you the owner, which is right here. And it gives you, I believe this is the APN address, the APN, let me see. It says PIN number. So this one gives the owner's name and this only gives the PIN number, but it also tells you the redemption dates on here. So I do like that. So all the lists are oftentimes different. So it's just really important when you are looking for overage lists, try to find something that isn't as complicated. I hope this video helps, and this will conclude my video.